Hi, I'm Alicia Young, and this is the case study Parental Apathy for School and Community Relations EDL 856. So we'll start out with category 1, identifying the problem. First of all, what do I know? Number 1, I know that Mrs. Rose is the new assistant principal, and her last course of study in her master's class was School Community Relations. She is now working at a school and that does not have active parent involvement. However, she would like to develop a stronger program. Number 2, I know that the current principal believes that the parents are apathetic and do not want to be involved in the school activities based on his experiences. Number 3, I know that there currently is not a PTO or PTA due to lack of involvement, and there has not been interest from the parents to volunteer at the cafeteria. So what do I need to know? Number 1, I would like to know what methods of communication have been used in the past to communicate with parents in the community. I would also like to know, why does the principal believe that putting in effort to get the parents involved will result in negative consequences? And thirdly, I would like to know what might be some ways the parents are interested in being involved, and who might be some community members interested in supporting the school. So the problem would be that Mrs. Rose would like to develop school-community relationships, and the principal is not supportive. He feels that the parents want to be left alone. However, he agrees to Mrs. Rose's idea to scheduling a meeting and makes an announcement to the students. 8 parents show up to the meeting. However, he feels that this is not a good representation of the parents and does not want to proceed with the meeting. So category 2, my proposed plan of action with strategies for implementation, begins with step 1, determine new ways for parents to get involved. So the strategies that I would implement would start with, number 1, proceed with the meeting to honor those 8 parents who are in attendance. Number 2, I would survey the parents as to how they feel that they would be involved. And my third strategy that I would implement would be to invite those 8 parents and several staff members to participate in a school action team at the school to develop school community relations. The second step in my plan would be to strengthen communication by developing a communication plan. So number 1, my strategy for implementation would be to send out regular newsletters and flyers to the parents in the community. My second strategy for implementation would be to make announcements at local organizations, promoting the school and volunteer opportunities. Number 3, I would utilize those social media outlets and a school website. Number 4, I would make phone calls home to parents using a calling system to make those announcements. And lastly, my strategy for implementation would include posting signs at the school drop-off areas and posting a message on the school marquee. My third step in my plan would include forming that school action team to develop school community relations. So collaboration between parents, teachers, and the community members is vital to the school community relationships. So my first strategy that I would implement would be to assess the current state of the relationship by surveying those parents who have shown interest in volunteering, as well as staff members. My second strategy I would implement with this team would be to organize a school community event. And perhaps it might be a mentoring program, a tutoring program, a multicultural event, a science fair, academic events, or even plant a garden. The third strategy that I would implement with this particular team is to identify those stakeholders, those faith-based organizations in the neighborhood, local businesses, local community leaders, service agencies, nonprofits, and colleges and universities nearby that would like to partnership with us. So category 3, resolving issues based on promoting the success of all students. I believe that what's best for students is, number 1, honoring those parents that are willing to participate and trust the numbers of parents will grow with new efforts. This is nothing but positive for our students. Number 2, posture the importance of positive relationships with staff, student, and parents. Work with those parents and community to support the school, and the students will foster a positive school culture. And number 3, strengthening communication between home and school and the community by implementing several communication strategies with consistency. This will also help strengthen the relationships with our community. Category number 4, debriefing the problem. So as I reflect and think about this particular case, number 1, I think that the principal acts like he has been defeated by the parents' apathy in his attempt to engage them in only a few school activities. He said that he came in with ideas for parent involvement, but now he refuses to give the parents the opportunity to participate in PTA, PTO, or other ways. Number 2, I'm thinking that the principal does not have a strong plan for communicating with parents and the community based on the fact that he made an announcement to the students to share with their parents about the upcoming meeting with Mrs. Rose. And the third thing that I'm thinking is that considering this weak attempt to communicate with the parents about the meeting, 8 parents did show up. Those parents had to rely on getting messages from their students, so it seems that the parents are interested in volunteering and supporting the school. As I reflect, I'm feeling, number 1, frustrated with the principal for his negative attitude towards working on developing and fostering positive relationships with the students at his school, and the parents at his school. Number 2, I'm feeling sad for the parents, students, and the staff that the principal feels defeated by the apathetic parents, and now he is continuing to promote an apathetic attitude and assumes that it isn't worth it to develop these relationships. Third thing I'm feeling is disturbed by the principal's lack of effort in communicating with the parents. There doesn't seem to be consistent strategies for communication based on the method that was used for announcing the meeting. And the fourth thing that I'm feeling is upset that the principal is willing to continue down the path of apathy and is resistant to charting a new course in order to improve the culture of the school. In reflection, 3 things that I'm valuing are, number 1, Mrs. Rose's effort to challenge the principal's apathetic attitude and continue to encourage ideas for including parents. The second thing I'm valuing is those 8 parents that came to the meeting, as they are showing that they care about their children and the school by giving of their time to attend. The third thing I'm valuing is the opportunity to improve the relationships with parents by starting with the 8 parents that came to the meeting, and the opportunity to improve the methods of communication with the stakeholders. The unresolved issues that I see in this particular case are, number 1, what would the staff say about the relationship they have with the parents? I'm wondering, are there classroom teachers who have positive school community relationships that could be developed into something school-wide? I'm also interested in exploring what might be some reasons the principal believes the parents want to be left alone. What happened in those conversations that he had with parents that led him to be so discouraged? And what has been successful in the past? What has been unsuccessful? And what might the staff say regarding this current situation? The third unresolved issue, I feel, are knowing the demographics of the school and the needs of the parents and students. So if we have these demographics and we understand the needs, how might the community and the school support the needs of the parents and students? Category 5, we'll take a look at standard number 7, promoting the academic success and personal well-being of every student by promoting communities of engagement for families and other stakeholders in the school's community. Component 1, how do you as an educational leader promote the academic success for every student while addressing the issues revealed in the parent apathy case study? Well, first of all, number 1, opportunities for tutoring are supported by parent and community volunteer programs. These are great ways for parents and community groups to support the school and are only possible through positive school-community relationships. The second thing is engaging the staff in building positive relationships, and hosting evening events based on academics is another way to promote academic success for all students. And third, partnering with local colleges and universities as well as other community groups that focus on academic support are all ways to support and promote academic success for every student. Component number 2, as an educational leader, I promote the personal well-being of every student while addressing the issues revealed in this case by number 1, establishing that small group of parents who want to volunteer at the school is the beginning of a positive relationship and a positive school culture. And secondly, honoring those parents who are willing to attend the meeting will support a positive school culture and impact the staff and students and their well-being. Thirdly, mentoring programs are another opportunity that can be established in schools through community resources, which support the well-being of our students. The third component, as an educational leader, I would promote the communities of engagement for families and other stakeholders in the school's community by number 1, establishing a school action team made up of parents and staff members, as well as community members, and establishing that team to engage families and stakeholders. Secondly, assessing the current status of the relationship between the school and the community will provide information to the team to determine how a plan to develop strong family engagement, as well as partnerships with local community organizations and leaders. And thirdly, developing that strong communication plan using various resources and consistency will provide a foundation and continue to aid in developing a positive relationship with all stakeholders. So these are the resources that I used specifically, as well as a bank of knowledge that I've learned throughout this course to complete this case study. That's all. Thank you.